Hey folks, Daily Landsblog here. Spent yesterday in Winnipeg. Gave a speech last night it was actually in a synagogue, and I got a view on religion that I don't normally get. So I'm standing up there. They call it, or we call it, I guess I should say, the Bema, and that's where people pray from. And it's a place that I've seldom got to go. And I got a great view on the world, and I got a great view on one of the best audiences that I have ever experienced. And I think that's the best word to use, experience. Because, I got up there and I did my normal thing, which is talk about my experiences, talk about my struggles, try to be as open and candid and as really poignant as I can be without being ashamed or embarrassed about any of the things that I'm going to say. I talk about loss of self-esteem and all of the things that really have gone into affecting me. And I talked about how a day earlier I had been struggling. Well, people came up to the microphone and started to share their stories. And it was an incredible experience. It happens everywhere that I go, but it doesn't always happen like that. And there were a couple of stories that will stay with me the rest of my life, including one from Todd, who was in the military for 12 years. And he got up, and you could tell just how painful it was for him to be talking about this experience. There was a pause, and there was dead silence in the room. And he said that he served in the military for 12 years and that he had 13 people in his unit. And the 13 people that came back to Canada, only he and one other are still alive. The other 11 had taken their lives. And there was like gasps and silence. And I didn't know what to say. I couldn't talk. Think about that. 11 suicides out of 13. And these are people that committed themselves to protecting us, to making our lives better. Think about that. There's no conscription. It's not like they were forced to go in the army, but they came back and they were so misunderstood and they lacked treatment so badly. And he said, and this is the best thing for me that I think in the whole experience that I've had here, and I try to say this with humility because it sounds like I'm boasting, but he said that 2 years ago on Bell Let's Talk Day, he watched an episode of Off the Record that we did. And that for the first time in his life, he felt like he could share. Because for the first time in his life, he felt like somebody understood him. And that is something that I won't ever forget. I'll tell you more about it tomorrow. SickNotWeak.com, 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. We're doing what we used to do on OTR. We're doing it here because they canceled the show.
Bitter much?
No, I'm not bitter. I'm having more fun now. You were